So anyway, you're a mess. Large amounts of restitution, a theft, the other felony cases that you're in prison on, and then this elaborate, intricate scheme. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Are you Brandon James Clay?
Yes, sir.
This is the time and date for sentencing in this matter. The file number is 24220FY. It started as a felony, larceny over $1,000, but less than $20,000. It was reduced to a misdemeanor of larceny to 200, but less than 1,000. You've been in our jail for 54 days. You're presently an inmate in the Michigan Department of Corrections. Your earliest out date is 7/16/25. You're in there on a couple of cases, methamphetamine charge, and then an earlier receiving concealing stolen property charge. I think that first one might be done. You owe $24,000 with the restitution in that case. You've also got other unpaid tickets here in St. Joseph County. The amount of restitution in this case, several different screens open, was $12,669.19. I had hoped again to get some prosecutor input on this, but we've already indicated that are down to just two people. But this is they went to a lot of effort to bring you back from prison for this. And you've got a lot of time hanging over your head with the Department of Corrections. There was also one other ticket I was going to take care of while I had you. The retail fraud, you owe me money, and I'm just going to end up wiping that out. So anyway, you're a mess. Large amounts of restitution, a theft, the other felony cases that you're in prison on, and then this elaborate, intricate scheme where you stole a bunch of money from Morgan Olson, your employer. Actually, a very clever scheme worthy of Frank Abagnale character in Catch Me If You Can. Mr. Truckee, what would you like me to know?
Well, upon meeting Mr. Clay in custody, he was not who I expected him to be. The best thing I can say is that prison seems to have worked for him. I believe the direct quote was, "Prison was the best thing that ever happened to me." I don't recall if that was followed up with "I'd be dead if I didn't go," but I think he might be if he did. The scheme here was clever, and if Mr. Clay could use that skill in a productive way, I think he could find some success and be able to get all this restitution paid off fairly quickly.
How did you get all the ID numbers from all the employees that you used to take this money out?
There was a printout of this is one person's employees, so it's just all their numbers were just printed out there. It's just laying around. So
somebody at work had a printout
they printed
with
out
everybody's ID number on it?
Somebody under whatever one supervisor it was. So it's because they had all their people. So there's 4 different supervisors. So it's just a printout, I guess, of all their employees.
There's some sort of cash advance system employees could use,
yes,
which most of them didn't, and then Mr. Clay was able to access them.
Well, you opened accounts in their names. 29 separate employees had prepaid cards to you. Whoever left all these passwords laying around certainly was negligent. And the other thing they were negligent is using their ID numbers as their passwords. You logged into 31 separate accounts using their company ID numbers. And the employees didn't lose anything except a lot of sleep. Morgan Olson covered it all, 12,669.19. And this was in 22, July 14th of 22. That's when they closed your misdemeanor R&O case that very same day. And you didn't get arrested on the methamphetamine case until August of 22. And then bound over in 23. So, and then that retail fraud case was in April of 22 that you didn't pay on.
I would note that this was a period of Mr. Clay's life where he was an active methamphetamine user.
Yes, which is interesting to me because A, was able to maintain his job at Morgan Olson, and B, was able to repeatedly do this scheme. So it'd be the equivalent of a highly functional methamphetamine addict. And as they get farther in the process, become less highly functional. You were very optimistic before about paying all this restitution. The earlier case, you were in a stolen motorhome, and I believe they ordered you to pay $24,000 restitution for that. I just don't see how you're going to be able to pay all this back. And the prosecutor brought you here, and I'm not sure what they wanted me to do. They certainly didn't want me to order the restitution. But this was an elaborate embezzlement, essentially. You stole from 29 of your coworkers, not knowing whether you were stealing from them or the company, but the company covered it. Every one of these people, I'm sure, was all upset when they found out they'd been dinged for hundreds or thousands of dollars. And credit to Morgan Olson, they covered it all. I'm going to order 360 days, credit 54 days, which is 304 days to do. I don't know what the Department of Corrections is going to do with that. 0 fine. $75 crime victims' rights fee and a $50 state minimum fee. $1,000 or $12,070. Excuse me, $12,770 to Morgan Olson. $12,895. I'm going to wipe out that unpaid retail fraud that you have. 221277. Call it 54 days, credit 54 days, and wipe out any additional fine and costs. So that's one less thing you'll have to deal with. I don't know whether they're going to take you back to, I assume that's what they're going to do. Your earliest out date is July.
Yeah, July 16th.
And I don't know, what facility were you at?
I'm currently at MTU, so Richard Hamlin Correctional Center in Ionia.
Okay. All right, we'll send a copy of this to your parole officer. Who is it, Jeb?
I don't have a parole officer yet.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I guess you're not on parole. Who did your PSI?
Melinda Albert.
All right, send a copy to her. All right, you're good to go.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care, Brandon.
Yes, we did.